Morning, Trainiacs. We got a big set today. We got the Tower 26 Mambo set. It's a bit of a bear. One thing that I've learned in a little less than a year of swimming with Tower 26 and working with Jerry Rodriguez is that it's critical for swimmers to work on the right things. Like the composition of your swims is probably more important than how frequently you're swimming. Now, for example, I was swimming 3 times a week for years and stagnated for 3 years in a row. Come and join Tower 26, still swim 3 or maybe just 4 times in a year, and I massively increased my speed. So today, we're gonna talk about specifically the drills, which are like the Achilles heel that can really hurt or really help your swimming. All right, Trainiacs, let's talk about let's just get this out of the way so they don't ruin the video once I'm on a roll. Gracie, come on. Pete, come on. You know you want to. So let's talk about the swim drills that triathletes should do. Now, one of the big downsides to just swim drills in general is that they're like family heirlooms. They get passed down from coach to coach to coach, and there's a purpose to them, but not necessarily a reason why certain coaches prescribe them. So, for example, like side kicking and then breathing. And a lot of people will hear they're supposed to do that because it gets your body rotation. But that has been one of the hardest drills that any age group triathlete with sinky legs, with breathing problems, with wiggly bodies can possibly do, and you need to build up to it. But coaches prescribe it because it was prescribed to them, and then somebody prescribed it to the coach that prescribed to them, and on and on and on. So what we've got to do as triathletes is take a step back and realize there are some real common things that we all struggle with, and we have to address those with the drills and not just do drills for the sake of drills. So the first thing that we need to accomplish as age group triathletes is that most of us are learning the sport as adults. And it's a foreign thing to put our face in the water and have no air for the vast majority of while we're exercising and actually breathing hard. So we have to retrain our body how to breathe. And the first series of drills that I'd recommend is if you feel even the slightest bit out of breath over the course of trying to do a 400 meter or yard continuous swim, and you're doing that at a fairly easy effort, you're having breathing issues. You're building up carbon dioxide in your lungs, and what you have to train your body how to do is to, as soon as your face goes in the water, start breathing out and get that carbon dioxide out of your lungs so that you don't have that trigger from your body sending to your brain saying, I gotta breathe. So what you first do is a drill that's just called sink downs. All you do is you put your hands out, you kick a little bit, and then you start breathing out, and the oxygen coming out of your lungs is going to force you to sink down. Just keep breathing out, and the key is to remain calm. Once you can do that, then you start with drills with your hands on the edge of the pool and your face in the water, and you kick your legs up and slowly get more and more comfortable breathing out, and then gradually you build into hand on the edge of the pool, other hand down by your side, breathing out, breathing out, breathing out, and take a breath to the side. And as you're doing this, you're gradually going to build the instinct that as soon as your face goes in the water, you start breathing out. As soon as your face goes in the water, you don't panic. Next thing that we need to accomplish as triathletes is we need to get rid of our wiggliness. When we get into water, we weigh about 92% less than we do on land. So you can try this out. When you're on land, if somebody went to tap you on the side, you could tense up and you could stay really nice and firm. Now go try doing something similar in water. Do that same, hands on the edge of the pool, kick lightly, breathe out, and get somebody to come and push you in your hip. I guarantee that you're gonna go, whoa, because you go from weighing, say, 200 pounds to 16 pounds. You go from weighing 150 pounds to 9 pounds. You don't have that same force of gravity to tense up and stay nice and firm. And if you think about it, think about how fast a log can be pushed across the water even though it's 4,000 pounds. Pretty fast without a ton of force. Think about how slow a pool noodle, even though it only weighs about a pound, doesn't get pushed across the water. It's all wiggly. So what we want to do is train ourselves to be more like that log. Be nice and firm in the water and just go like this, fast. And what we do for that is a series of kicking drills. And we're not kicking to become good kickers. Newsflash, as a triathlete, you're going to have stiff ankles. You're never going to be a good kicker. You might get up to, if you're great, 5% of your total propulsion coming from kicks. So we don't kick for the sake of kicking. We do it to become a log. So you go through a series of drills based on kicking, and you start with snorkel, fins, and a board. Then you move away from the board. Then you go just snorkel only. Then you go side kick with fins and snorkel. Then you go side kick just with fins and taking a little breath. Then you add in arm channel swimming with fins and a snorkel. And then you take away the snorkel and you do arm channel swimming with there. And what you're doing the entire time is it's not that you're working on the kick. It's not that you're working on the stroke. It's not that you're working on body rotation. What you're actually working on is kicking. And while your legs are kicking back here, you focus on your entire upper body being, boom, totally stationary. So while your bottom half is kicking, you are working to keep your upper body completely stationary, and that's going to stop you from being so wiggly. Finally, we need to build open water swim skills. All of these drills that are being passed down from coach to coach to coach are essentially for pool swimmers. They're for elite swimmers. They are for speed swimmers. They're for youth swimmers. They're not for open water swimmers. We need to build open water swim skills that allow us to excel when we get to the race. So a good example is a deck up. When you get to the end of the pool lane, come race season, start getting out of the water and running on deck a little bit or jogging in place so that you get used to that feeling of getting out of the water, going vertical, and then still running a little bit. And it gets you away from that massive heart rate spike that happens when you get out of the water that causes you to be slow for the first 10 to 15 minutes of the bike because you have to compose yourself. You can be faster in transition 1 by 30 seconds, faster in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the bike by who knows how much. You are essentially being faster in the swim with free speed by maybe a minute or 2. Next is you need to practice mass starts. You have to get used to the idea of a lot of people being around you. It's normal. We go into subways, we go on planes, we stand in line where there's people bumping us all around. It's normal. It doesn't freak us out in day to day, but it freaks us out when we go into water. So we can certainly develop the ability to not freak out when we're in open water and there's people around. We just have to practice that in the pool. So you can practice things like mass starts or swimming where the fastest swimmers are at the back by the wall and the slowest swimmers are up here. And you do a group start and the fastest swimmers have to try to catch up. And you just get a whole bunch of people clustered around. The more you do that, the more comfortable you're going to be. And finally, you have to be used to people being on your toes and you being on other people's toes and not having this perfectly clear pool to look at and having bubbles in your face. So you can do drafting drills where you're drafting a person pulls off to the side, you push off the wall, and then the person comes in behind you. And you're just constantly rotating between being out front and people hitting you on the feet and being in behind and hitting other people on the feet. Now notice that I haven't used anything that is really traditionally considered a swim drill. You wouldn't see a lot of these in masters swim practices. That's because they're specific to triathletes. Now, a couple of things. Number one, if you aren't at all comfortable in the water, if you can't yet swim a 400 yard or meter continuous swim without stopping at the wall and without feeling out of breath at the end of it, go to triathlontaren.com/swim drill program. Just put in your email address. It's free. You get a free series of 18 swim drills that will build you into a very confident and comfortable in the water swimmer. Second thing about this is if you are already comfortable, it's kind of uncertain when and where and how you use all of these swim drills. There are specific times throughout the season and specific places in a workout that you should be using them. So for that, go to teamtrainiac.com. Try it out for 14 days. All of these drills are included in the workouts. They're embedded, and you just have to do them. And we have received, in just the month that it's been available to the public, dozens of messages from people that are saying that they've either moved up a lane, they are leading a lane that they have never led before, they are faster than they've ever been. It's because they're working on the right things. You can go try that out at teamtrainiac.com. And other than that, Pete's always excited about swimming. You should be excited about swimming. It's the greatest sport. Right, Pete? All right, go check those out. triathlontaren.com/swim drill program and teamtrainiac.com. And we should make a website for Pete. He's a heartthrob. Later, Trainiacs.